Longreef is located at 33.71 degrees south and 151.30 degrees east, with DY Beach to the right, and adjacent to the cliff is Fisherman's Beach. The waves were 2.4 metres high, with a swell period 9. We experienced plunging breakers. This means that there was a gradual slope of the sand.
Longreef DY Beach extends for 1.8 kilometres from the base of Longreef Point to DY Point and is backed by 25 hectares of DY Lagoon. At the north end there is Longreef Headland, a protected aquatic reserve and a golf course. A walk to the top of the headland can often be rewarded by views of migrating whales. There are offshore reefs in the north and beach breaks running the entire 1.6 kilometres south to DY.
The type of sand present at Longreef Beach is fine quartz and crushed sandstone. At Longreef there was evidence of potholing. This process is caused by the intertidal rock shelf, which rocks slide across, generating friction, which causes divots in the rock shelf to appear. Because it was low tide, we were able to cross the rock shelf. As we walked back, it was clear that the tide was coming back in. This would result in the rock shelf being covered completely.
The cracks in the rocks are caused by constant changing of tides, which allows for salt water to be absorbed, then by the long exposure of sunlight at low tide, drying then cracking the rock surface. Hydraulic action was evident at Longreef. The waves at the headland were shaping and forming the rock shelf and the cliff adjacent to Longreef.
Here is some evidence of hydraulic action along Longreef Beach.
Transportation of sand. There is evidence of longshore drift causing sand and seaweed being transported to northern end of Longreef. This causes displacement from areas that are in need of the sand but are depleted because of this process.
Here is evidence of sand transportation at the northern end of Longreef. Human impacts affect beaches greatly. The decision to make a clubhouse and a car park at Longreef Beach has caused sand dunes to be moved, leaving local fauna homeless and changing the landscape of Longreef Beach. Shown here in the image of Longreef in 1943, the sand dune used to go all the way up to the main road. In an effort to sustain the sand dunes at Longreef, the local council have made walkways to prevent the vegetation from being trampled on by beachgoers. When there is a massive storm and a lot of rainfall, the council will open up the lagoon to allow for water to have an exit out into the ocean. The negative side to this is that the water may be polluted and will affect the seawater. It also causes sand transportation, which will leave the part of the beach depleted of sand, affecting local fauna and leads to wearing away of the shoreline. Longreef has many environmental management plans, including dune management, volunteer work, and coastal zone management plans. The council maintain the walkways and regularly fix the fences to make sure the sand dunes do not get trampled on. The local volunteer group, Reef Care, looks after cleaning up of litter along the beach and on the dunes. There is also laws in place to maintain the marine life at Longreef. You are not allowed to catch or take blue drummers, mangrove jack or dogfish. In conclusion, Longreef beach management plans are very effective but need improvement to sustain the dunes and the lagoon. By doing this, Longreef will continue to be a popular beach with sustainable sand dunes and beautiful long coastlines.